All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. See if we see that it has BSS, aka boudoir search sameness, with these two Google searches here. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video here in the profile, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white, got our highest intent people way over on the left. Those are the people searching on Google and social search for, boudoir photo shoot in their city. And they're searching that literally right now. And we talked about that here with BSS. Those are the only videos we talk about here. And way over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. So those are the peeps that ain't searching for a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And many of them, most of them actually have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So we reach them with, interruption ads via Facebook and Instagram. But we only talk about that on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google, 0 slots extra bad because approximately 80% of Google searches never reach page 2. So they're page 1 and done searches. And as a result, if we're on page 2, we're invisible to approximately 4/5 of the market. So, our business is dying. We'll be dying pretty fast. And as a result, only 1 slot on Google page 1 is bad as well because, there's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google, and there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers. And guess what? Everyone else is probably gonna have 1 slot, so we don't stand out. And what's a buyer gonna do? They're gonna click, open everyone's website, get a quote from everyone, price shop everyone, compare everyone, blah blah blah, negotiate, drive down margins, ask for a lower price. It's really, really, kind of awful for businesses. And 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are number 1, market saturation, and number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know about this. Over time, people get new iPhone, they get new cameras, and some of those peeps, they throw up the Google Maps, my business profile. They say, yeah, I shoot boudoir now. Some, they also throw up their websites on Google, or throw up their websites saying they're a boudoir photographer, and they're trying to rank page 1 on Google, competing with us, and they're posting them in the mom Facebook groups saying that, basically saying that now for boudoir shoots now. So it's basically, saturation, more boudoir photographers, more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. That happened a ton during COVID. A lot of people lost their job. But guess what? Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with awesome camera. So a ton of flood of boudoir photographers came into the market. Now, falsely page 1 equality, basically no one knows about this yet. This is where boudoir photographers have basically accepted, or kind of assumed that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google, and as a result, maybe they're in slot 8 on page 1. Then there's some market saturation. Some people ranked above them in their new websites. Now they're slot 3 on page 2, and they're like, oh well, it's normal. Every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slot on page 1 on Google. And so sitting there hoping that a few of those people, delete their website and Google de-indexes it so they can hopefully get back onto page 1. But this is 100% the wrong belief, the wrong thought process, because we've actually learned through testing that Google will give us as many slots on page 1 as we want, as we put in the effort for. So, and we've learned this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using our new methodology we developed. So that's why I know the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that, a false belief. Next, we know boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. So yeah, BSS 0 1 slots page 1 Google search. We got 0 slots for invisible, approximately 80% of Google searches, approximately 80% of the market. Obviously, we're disappearing. If we only got 1 slot on page 1 of Google, we blend in with everyone else. Everyone else has got 1 slot on page 1 of Google. We're not looking at anything special. We're essentially invisible as well. In both these cases, disappearing boudoir photographer is literally a warning light, a flashing signal, a canary in the coal mine, where it means our boudoir photography business itself is on its way to disappearing. So what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. So we rank there as many slots as we can. And this is kind of like the ice or the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains on the backside, the east side down in South America. So that snow, what it does is it melts off the backside. And when it melts off the backside, it goes into small streams, forms small rivers, and eventually all that water collects into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one on Google. But everything starts up top with social search saturation, S cubed methodology. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow them to have a chance to still grow their business in the presence of massive and increasing market saturation. The only other, and to give them that shot in a relatively quick time frame, the only other thing solution I've heard for that, solving this problem, is actually have a large, well-known brand, but that takes like 5 to 10 years, so that kills the relatively quickly kind of property. And we ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here, AI's taking people's jobs. We got to fortify our position in the market right now. And actually, through my estimation, I believe SQ methodology can actually speed up the creation of a large, well-known brand by, my estimate is 8x, 8 times normal. It's because we're going to be seen on so many surfaces, ranking so many places, being seen everywhere. That's my estimates. So imagine if you're, you got a large, well-known brand and you're using SQ methodology. I mean, you're basically essentially unbeatable. So now we're going to go through an example of basically of, let's say we're in, all right, we are going to Salt Lake City, Utah, SLC. Let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers there. We're one of them. Everyone's got their, boudoir photographer website. And they say that, well, everyone's trying to rank page one on Google. So massive competition there. And we're like, dude, we ain't got no brand. We actually got SQ methodology is our only hope to compete here. So let's say we crank up SQ methodology to the max, and we're ranking for the first 300 keywords for the highest boudoir buyer intent keywords in our city. And we're taking the first 300 slots on social search, which then flows on to Google search. And Google search is 10 slots per page, 10 organic slots. So we are we are actually taking basically the first 30 pages on Google. So basically, anytime any boudoir buyer searches for boudoir anywhere in our city or digitally, we're basically the only one they can find on social search or Google search. So whose business will be growing even if there's 1 million total boudoir photographers in the city? Most likely ours, because we're essentially the only one that can be found. We're blocking everyone else out. So, and whose business will be disappearing and slowing down? Obviously, the 999,999 other boudoir photographer competitors in Salt Lake City, Utah. So this is, that'd be like S cubed to the max, but this is the opportunity S cubed methodology gives a chance to happen by using it. Now, once you're with S cubed methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. So obviously we get the initial benefit of more slots page one on Google. We also get another initial benefit, which actually boudoir photographers really like this one, where every new slot we get on Google page one, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. They're page one and done searches. So we're essentially making these boudoir photographers invisible to approximately 80% of the market. So the bulk of the market, basically, 4/5 of people, that's basically everyone. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having 3 out of 10 slots page one of Google search. That's because everyone else, all the other boudoir photographers, basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot. So we're going to be looking way better than them. Our 3 slots to their 1. And the off chance, a very, very rare chance, somebody has 2 slots, yeah, we're going to be dominating them as well. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. We finally have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now my results using SQ methodology here. So I wanted to rank for the term right here, BLCS boudoir. I wanted to dominate page one for this. So I started out with 0 out of 10 slots, page one, Google search. I utilized SQ methodology for 10 straight days. And let's see my results. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So from 0 to 10 slots, Google search page one, to 9 out of 10 slots, Google search page one in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So now we're going to look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check. So all this is based on the Google page one searches here. So we got these 2 Google searches. Let's check these out. So first one, we got boudoir photographer. Is that the first one? No, I think. Oh no, St. Augustine should be the first one. I got to do St. Augustine here. Boudoir photography, St. Augustine. St. Augustine. And there we go. All right. So let's see what we got here. Look for a supernova. There we go. So we got 1 slot. And all right, we got 2 slots here. Wedding wire. Yeah. We do not have BSS, so we got 2 slots here. That's fine. That's good. We perfect. Now we've not hit the GBC minimum. We want to have 3 out of 10 here, but hey, we do not have BSS for the search, so that's good. Now we want to hit the GBC 3 out of 10 minimum because that's kind of the only safe time we can say, hey, we're not going to disappear, we're not going to decline. We may not grow, but we'll probably at least tread water. So no BSS, but we're not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 here. Now let's check our Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so still looking for the same supernova. So we got 1. And nope. All right, none of these are specifically about us only. We got 1 out of 10. So we got BSS for the second search at Jacksonville, Florida. Bigger city. So BSS is more common in the bigger cities, obviously, more keyword competition. So we do not have BSS for St. Augustine, Florida. That's good, but we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. But we do have BSS for the Jacksonville, Florida search, and we also did not hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've gone and done your local search and you've done your city search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you see, you had BSS for 1 or both of them, or you're not reaching the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for 1 or both of them, and you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. You understand Google actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. Your CNS key methodology is the only path to achieve that, and you've actually been waiting for something like this. You're like, oh my God, finally, yes. And you're liking the initial benefits, more search page 1 on Google, nice. You're liking the second initial benefit, kicking other boudoir photographers off page 1 on Google. Yes, awesome as well. All these obviously increasing probability you get clients. You understand the market saturation. Yeah, peeps get more gear, more boudoir photographers enter the market over time naturally. And you're also thinking ahead, like, man, AI is taking a lot of peeps jobs right now already. And, it's going to be taking more and more peeps jobs. And you understand, last time that happened, COVID, people lost their jobs, had to earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with an awesome camera. So boudoir photography is like the easiest thing for people to enter. So, massive wave of new boudoir photographers coming in as a result of AI. And because of that, you're looking ahead being like, all right, you're realizing you actually have to not only get all these positions on page 1, you got to fortify these positions on page 1. I have so many links on page 1 that Google wants to rank on page 1 for you, but there's literally not enough slots. You got like backup links, page 2, 3, 4, 5, that you need that basically fortify your position, kind of like fortifying the levee down in Nolens, Louisiana. because the city is actually below sea level, fortifying it against the ocean. You realize you got to fortify your positions on Google search with so many backup links that no current boudoir photographer competitor would ever hope to rank on page one, nor any future boudoir photographer competitor coming from AI taking their job could ever rank on page one. And you're saying again, okay, SQ methodology is the only solution that can provide that benefit as well. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you know you need these things on your journey to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also thinking ahead. Do you understand how SQ methodology is working? We're basically building up these invisible thematic keyword columns on the back end in cyberspace, basically attached to your brand name, your business's name across all your social handles, kind of intertwined and kind of sticking out, poking out from your business. And you're understanding that every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we're actually increasing the probability up here for us to be recommended in AI over in search. The most premium placement we cannot pay to get this placement with ads. This is the #1 most premium placement we want to achieve. And similarly, the other future benefit is, again, related to AI. Every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we're increasing the probability that Boudoir, that AI search apps start recommending us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we're kind of building up this back end keyword momentum, AI mindshare momentum for these highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, increasing the probability we get recommended AI search. I remember the last time I did AI search for boudoir photographer in a city, it returned me 3. This was with ChatGPT. I actually went and manually searched that city. Dude, there's around 60 searched on Google and Facebook. And so it's like, we got to get this one of these 3 slots in AI search, or however many slots there are as possible, because AI search is increasing every single day, and standard Google search is decreasing every single day. So you're liking those, but there's those future benefits. You're also liking that, kind of estimated increase probability of building a brand. A well-known brand is estimated to be approximately 8x faster, which the brand helps insulate against market saturation. And also, I'm actually got a brand and you're continuing to use SQ methodology because you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you understand you can actually kick out all your competitors from utilizing this technology, and you can get all these benefits, initial and future benefits, build a brand faster, prevent your competitors from using it, build a massive gap in like AI mindshare, backend AI keyword mindshare to be recommended for AI search and AI overviews, and build a massive gap that basically your competitors will never be able to touch or intrude upon. And that's why I've decided to be a first mover, because you know that conversely, if one of your boudoir photographer competitors would just be this in your city would sign on with me first, then what would actually happen is they would get all those benefits. You'd be kicked off page 1, maybe even kicked off page 2 as well, relegated to page 3 or deeper. You would be losing, basically building up no AI mindshare, while me and your competitor are building up massive momentum, massive AI mindshare in the back end, invisible thematic keyword columns over and over and over again, reinforcing that repetition, relevance, authority, age, increase in probability. They build that up on us. And as a result, we actually, me and your competitor building up this massive gap, and you would not have access to our technology. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to recreate SQ method, rederive it for yourself. And you would never actually be 100% confident you derived it correctly. You would then have to execute it equally to us every single day, put in the time and effort to do that. And if you were to do that, you're simply maintaining the gap, meaning your competitor already have, way ahead of you. So you'd have to actually double or triple our output every single day to be able to start pulling back the AI keyword mindshare back towards you, away from me and your competitor. And again, you would never be 100% confident you've actually derived the methodology correctly. So probably wouldn't feel confident putting that much time into it. And then even if you did, who's got 80 hours per day to be doing all this effort. So you decide, screw that, you're gonna be the first mover. Get all these benefits, initial benefits, future benefits, prevent your competitors from using this technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. So when the hospital does come to open back up to accept a new patient, shoot us a DM. We'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.